Habs shutout of the season, his first NHL shutout, and a big dominant win for Montreal in game number 53. Habs beat the Ducks 5-0. Hey, everybody. I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. All right, it was a good game. It was a dominant performance. The Ducks only got 13 shots the whole game. Line number one was just amazing tonight. Slav and Nick Suzuki, just chemistry between them tonight was off the hook. So a really good performance coming off of a really bad one against St. Louis on Sunday. So nice way for Montreal to bounce back, and a perfect team in town for Montreal to bounce back against. They do go on a one-game road trip. Next game Thursday in New York, and then they're back Saturday for Washington. Rematch against Washington. But tonight was Nick and Slav's night, I guess, because they really hooked up tonight. It was really good. So I've got the scores, all that stuff from the game, all the post-game stats. The words aren't coming out. The 3 stars as well, and I guess my opinion on what happened here tonight. I kind of didn't watch much of the first 2 periods, but it doesn't matter because it mostly happened in the second. There was no scoring in the first. So, but Montreal was just really good. The power play was good. Again, Nick and Slav hooking up there. And, just a really nice game from the first line, which is now I don't know where they rank now in the top lines in the NHL, but I think they're right up there. And you can just imagine these 3 guys, because Caulfield, I mean, he was hot. He had 10 shots. He was just fantastic. He just didn't put up any points except 1 assist. But you can see this line being a dominant line for a long time to come for the Montreal Canadiens. So game was kind of nasty. There were 4 fights. One was right at the end of the game after the game had ended. But there was some nasty play, some fighting, some good hockey by Montreal, a little bit by Anaheim in spots. And that was the game. In my opinion, that's how it worked out. Let me see who's here, and we'll go from there. Oops, I have to scroll up already. Wow. Guru. Hey, Guru. Why are the colors different? That's weird. Welcome back in. Good game for the Habs. Slav was really dialed in. Slav and Nick just they were amazing. I mean, so was Cole. He just couldn't find the mark on Dostal tonight, but gave it everything he had. Rich J, welcome back. Slaffy. Phil. Hi. That's not how you spell hi. Joe, welcome back in. What a game. First clean sheet of the season. Finally, first shutout of the season. Interesting that it goes to Primo, But you know what? When you only face 13 shots, you should have a shutout. You kind of think of it like that. Frustrating game for the Ducks. So what? Slavkovsky. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe that's the name we should call that line. What was my name for it again? I can't remember. Jeez, I can't remember the line. SML line, small, medium, large. That's what I called it, I think. The CSS line, Cole, Slav, and Suzuki. Jack, I have a feeling a lot of people will be ordering Slav jerseys there, the rest of this season and the off season. Going to be a popular player here. No doubt in my mind. Hey, Matt Outdoor, Roger. Going to get our asses handed to us on Thursday versus Rangers. Well, we beat them the last time, though, didn't we? Didn't we beat the Rangers last time we played them? So maybe not. You never know. And I think we beat them here, though, right? We beat them in Montreal. So They're going to be in New York. Might make a difference. Maybe not. Maybe they ride the high that they're on right now after this game. I'd like to see them beat the Rangers, that's for sure. Okay, we're going to take a look at the stats for this game. Alrighty, so we got a 5-0 final. Montreal now just one game under 500. They're 21, 22, and 8, something like that. All right, so Jake Evans leads it off, opens the scoring. Let's see, his third of the season, scores every month and a half about. The assists go to Tanner Pearson and Josh Anderson, and that is at 1:43 of the first. About 8 minutes later, Nick Suzuki gets his 18th from Slavkovsky and Struble. Nice pass from Slav, and no doubt about it, shot by Suzuki. Suzuki gets his 19th. Was that 8 minutes later? A little 7.5 minutes later on the power play, again from Slavkovsky, and an even better pass. And another great shot by Nick. And the assists go to Slav and Newhook. And then the third period, Slavkovsky gets his goal of the game, power play goal, his 11th from Suzuki and from Caulfield, and that was at 7:26. And then Brandon Gignac gets his first NHL goal. He's been working hard. Great speed this kid has. And it was like a kind of a gift in a way by Gouli. Gouli could have taken that shot. But no selfishness by Gouli, and he gave it over. And Gignac made no mistake about it. And that was at 17:15. That ended the scoring. 5-0 Montreal. Primo gets his first career shutout, and the Habs get their first shutout of the season. 38 shots for Montreal, 13 for the Ducks. Face-off circle, 51% for Montreal, 49% for them. They were 0 for 3 on the power play. We were 2 for 6. Hits, they had 22 hits to our 18, 16 block shots to our 12. They gave away 12 pucks to our 5. And we had 6 takeaways to their 1. Season series, we beat them 4-3 in November on the 22nd and beat them 5-0 tonight. That ends it for the year. And the 3 stars, of course, Nick Suzuki, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. Slavkovsky, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. And Primo with the goals against at none and a save percentage of 1,000. So really good performance. Over a team like, let's face it, right? Not a good team, the Ducks, third from the bottom in the league. And, I mean, they should have beat them tonight, right? And they did. And, but in a very dominant and commanding style. So that's what's nice to see about it. They didn't play down to a team that's below them in the standings. And, yeah, I mean, this was a game I thought they would win. Looking at their games, the remaining games of the season, this was one you could point at and say, well, they should win that. So good on them to do it and do it in the way they did. And line one just is, it's incredible. Line one is just incredible. So you're here, talk to me. Nobody's making any comments anymore. Let me know what you guys think. We have, we got lots of time, like 21 minutes still to go. So let's see what you guys say. I mean, I've done plenty of talking as it is. What happened? Something happened here. There we go. That was weird. Galley will be eligible to play in the game against the Rangers. Yes, he will. Galley has finished serving his 5-game suspension, and he'll be back in the lineup. Slav, last 24 games, 9 goals, 11 assists, and a -5, which is on, he's on a lousy team overall, right? So the -5 is not anything to worry about. 20 points in 24 games. Like, I saw a comment today, I think on Twitter, somebody saying how shitty. It was in my comments. It was held for review from a few days ago. Someone who always makes negative comments. How shit Slav was. What a horrible pick that was. Blah, 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 blah. Like, really? Really? With those kind of numbers? Like, this guy, does he even watch hockey? I don't think so. Habs beat the Rangers. That I just was wondering, was it the last game they played? I wasn't sure about that, right? That's all. I knew they beat them here in New York. Wasn't it like bounce back from a previous couple of bad games, and then they went to New York and beat the Rangers? We had lost to a bad team, I think. So it was a surprising win. Phil says, okay, with Allen pooping the bed and Primo shutting the door, how do these performances affect, if at all, their respective trade value? Well, I have trouble believing that Montreal, if they wanted to keep Primo here, that because they can't move Allen, they're going to trade Primo. I think if they want to keep Primo, they're not trading Primo. So I don't think, is this trade value higher? It must have gone up. But I think Allen's the target to trade. So, yeah, I don't know. Well, Eric, next year, if Doc stays healthy, that line should be pretty good. So you add like a competent to good, anywhere in between that line to this mix. And imagine if teams can't key on that number one line, what they're capable of doing. I think it's going to be I can't wait to see it. That's basically what I can't wait to see how this team. Look at the progression in Slavkovsky just this season. It's hard to look at that kid that played tonight and go, this kid struggled? This kid. He just looks fantastic. Every bit the number one overall pick. Every bit the best player out of that draft right now. That's emerged so far. Just a good story, that kid. Phil, yeah, I think a lot of people just read headlines and don't delve any deeper into it, and then, just try to sell you on the headline they read. So, yeah. The problem is okay, so they see Slav with the points he's got and the number of games, but they don't see the stat like we just read, right? 20 points in his last 24 games. A lot of people don't go far enough in to find that, and they make judgments. And a lot of it is they hear what everybody else is saying, other idiots, and they just repeat it. Eric had 13 shots on him. So, yeah, but I said that. It's not a huge total. Didn't mean he had to get the third star. But, if you're going to think about who should be the third star in this game, nobody else really stood out enough. You can give it to Gignac because he played well and then got his first NHL goal. Other than that, I don't know. I guess Caulfield could have got it. He played really well, and he was flying out there. It's the Habs' first shutout of the year. It's his first shutout of his career. Yeah, give it to the kid. I know you didn't mention anything about the star thing, but. Yeah, Phil, but the shutout, 13 save shutout, not to, you know what I mean? It's not a big thing, really, in the long run, but I'm okay with it. I don't mind that he got the star for that. All right, well, we're halfway through. I'm a little fidgety. I don't know why I want this day to be over. It's weird. The D-man with the most time on ice. No, I think you got other qualified candidates than the goalie. Got other qualified candidates than to go to a defense. I named two. Nothing wrong with Caulfield, 10 shots on goal. And Gignac, his first ever goal. And, I mean, the kid skates. He skates kind of like the wind, and he plays really hard. He'd be deserving of a third star. But I ain't taking it away from Primo. It is a big thing. Getting your first NHL shutout's a big thing. And you know what? Even though 13 shots, the fact that he didn't, in the last minute, to nerves or whatever, just give up a goal. Yeah, good on him, Aiken, yeah, imagine if he can act on those. Listen, one day Caulfield's going to have a game like that where he connects on a lot of those shots and has a big, 4 or 5 goal game. It wouldn't shock me if Caulfield had a game like that. I wouldn't count on it every game, obviously, but Suzuki doing the scoring that Suzuki should be doing. Nothing. I think Nick should be a 25 to 30 goal guy a year, so he's doing his own scoring. And I don't know, what's he at, Nick? He had 3 points tonight. Came in 47. He's got 50 points now? Suzuki, I can tell 19, and then he had an assist, 32. 51 points for Nick. 51 points in 53 games. Nick Suzuki is basically on a 78 point pace now, 78, 79 point pace. If he keeps this up, he'll be a point a game player this year. Evans had the game winner, true. It goes all the way back to there. Aiken, good bounce back, yes. Seriously, Suzuki's got 6 goals and 5 assists in his last 5 games. That's incredible. If Nick does end up the season with a point per game, I mean, I predicted it before the season. I didn't think it was going to happen after it seemed like it wasn't going to happen, but he's going to make a run at it. And there's still 29 more games. I mean, it's not like he's got no track left, He's got lots of track left. And you got to figure these guys are going to have a few more games like this. It's not like this is the last big game for these guys. I'm talking about the first line. So, yeah, it's going to get some more points. Rich J, yes, Kovalev in the, I want to say 2007-8 season, 84 points in 82. Was it 80 or 82 games? Yeah, Phil, I'm not sure if it was 80 or 82, but I agree with you. I think it was 80 games, 84 points. Anyway, let's see if Nick can pass him. I predicted it with the last 2 seasons in a row that he's going to pass that. We'll see if he does. I'd love to see it. If he has a few more good games like this, he'll be on that pace. So, problem with Suzuki is that he could go on in a slump. Any game now could last for a number of games, right? So he needs to be a little more consistent. Maybe he won't go on that slump, and he's getting more consistent, but I'm kind of expecting maybe a slump to happen for I hope not. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. Eric, good. The whole team is kind of. It's not just on one guy. It's not just on Arbor. It's not just on Arbor and Pizzetta. You know, Guli and Kovacevic today um, contributed big time to that. Anyways, it's all good after a game like that. You know, the St. Louis one, throw it out the window. They did because they came back with this good game here. Again, you got to temper it with the fact that it was Anaheim, but you know they should have done something like this. Aiken, was that how it was? So hopefully it'll stay like that. He'll stay um, hot the rest of the season. Although I'm sure he's gonna have a slump somewhere in there. He just inevitably does. Aiken, he has been. So maybe I'm wrong, and he won't have another one. But he has been once. Once like the beginning of the season, he started out slow. Once that went away, I mean, he has been pretty consistent. I'll give you that. And you know what? If you want to be a point per game player, you got to be consistent. Or you got to, when you do score, you got to have these huge games all the time. Lucas, I can't answer that. I'm going to try to find out and figure out why that is. I don't know why. It's the first time I was doing this, so it was an experiment. But I don't like the fact that if you can't see the chat in the other room, it doesn't make sense. So I might not do this anymore. We'll see. Aiken, I didn't answer your comments earlier when the game was on about that. I'm not talking about that either. You know, I hate that guy, and for me to talk about him doing something good, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like praising piece of shit like that for any reason. I can acknowledge he's a good hockey player. That's about it. But I won't praise him, and I won't idolize him in any way. Rich J, you know what? Potentially we could have been without losing Doc. But I mean that's a far no, I shouldn't say that. Points wise, it's not that much difference. A Doc probably would have made up the points that we are out of the wild card spot. So yeah. So just look forward to it next year. And you know, there's potential for Montreal to make the playoffs next year. It definitely stings, but you know what? There'll be benefits from it in that one or two other players that wouldn't have gotten an opportunity to get some experience and show the team what they've got that opportunity, gained some experience. Like it's not all bad, just you know. And quite frankly, anyways, getting to the playoffs too early might not be a good thing either, you know. So I'm not that upset, but you know, it could have been a contender. Hot garbage. That's a good way to describe them. You know, I love to bash the Leafs. I just don't feel like it right now. I don't feel like talking about them. We've got about 5 minutes left if you guys want to talk more about this game or anything else, just not the Leafs or Matthews. or any other garbage people. It's a celebration. Celebrate a nice win like that. Although, again, temper it. It was the Ducks we beat. Don't let it get to your head. Rich J, that's if they make it to the first round this year. I believe Toronto, it'll really depend on what they do here at the deadline time. It'll really depend on that, in my opinion. Yeah, Lucas, good point. If you're a Buffalo fan, then it's got to be trying. What did they miss the playoffs in 13 straight years, something like that? Tell us about your first pet way before what time? What's RAS time? Matt Greer, they signed Gignac to a 2-year contract just this season. He'll have another season left after this one. And it's a 2-way deal, but it's very, it's for an AHL player, it's a lot of money, $400,000 for the AHL. So they'd have to waive him to put him there, and it might mean he sticks around. Like, I like him over some other guys that are here. His energy, his speed, his work ethic. I like those things. So I like what I see in him. Which dinosaur will the Leafs acquire at the trade deadline? Honestly, they got to hit a home run at the deadline. I hope they don't, personally. I really do. But I really think if they want to make the playoffs, or at least be quite assured of that, they got to hit a home run at the deadline and make some good moves, or they ain't going nowhere. Lucas, am I surprised? I'm not surprised that he only got 5 games. I'm disappointed that he did. I think he should have got at least 6. But in saying that, so what's an extra game in the long run? I'm not gonna cry over it. Typical of the dopes and dops to be very inconsistent in their punishments. Let's see, Aiken, they can't with this goalie situation. You're talking about Montreal can't. Well, they got to solve that goalie situation. They got to. They have to move a goalie. You know what? You want to say it's hurting Primo, and it's hurting. The only one it seems to hurt is Allen, if anybody. Maybe mildly so with Monty, but Primo seems fine. Hadn't started in almost a month since his last start. And not a lot of shots, no, but at least he looked good on all of them. He didn't look rusty. Is Allen on waivers a possibility? No. At least I don't believe so, because that's a cheap way for a team to get him. Hey, let's pick him up off waivers. Sure, we don't get retained salary, but we don't give up any prospects either. Although, it might be better to trade for him and get the retained salary. I don't know. Well, is 40-year-old Mark Giordano still playing? If not, he's injured, but he is supposed to be playing, I guess. Again, I don't mind Leafs talk like in general. I don't want to talk about Matthews. Definitely don't want to talk about Matthews. But I don't have to, because it's time to go. All right, I'll be back on Thursday. I will be starting a little bit of work on. I got a couple of videos kind of in the works. I have to start working on, like, behind the scenes kind of things. I'm going to start on that tomorrow. Please check out our podcast. Links are in the description. The Last Habnormals, Craig Wilson, great show. And then on Pucking Around, we had Dylan Robillard. He's a Flyers fan and podcaster, and very knowledgeable young man. And we had a fun podcast, and it was, listen to it. It's out there. Link in the description. Give it a try, and that's it. I will be taking off now. Thanks for watching. Everybody who watched on Don't Puck with Media, appreciate it very much. Please give us a subscribe if you haven't already as you leave there. And that's it. Till next time. First of all, thanks everybody for watching. I really do appreciate it. Keep your stick on the ice. Stay safe out there. Peace out and go Habs go. I'll see you soon. Have a good night, everybody. Ciao, ciao.